It's time for the girls get up. I said, girls get up. Hey, you guys, it's February. You guys know what that is. It is the month of love. It's Black History Month. And we're going to know why God is telling us to put our best foot forward. And we're going to do a little bit of girls get up. I have a special guest. Let's bring her out. Lena.
Hey, y'all. What's up?
It's my bestie. All right, you guys. I'm hoping that she brings back her Getting It Real with Lena.
Hopefully so. We shall see.
All right. Let's jump right into it. We're having a topic this month, and the topic is
Self-love.
I think it's only perfect for this month.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's get right into this topic and why we're talking about self-love. What is self-love? We're both going to give our little definition because you know what? Everybody has different definitions for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to understand that. I think sometimes people get a little too small-minded and think your definition is the next person's definition, and it's not that.
Absolutely.
And just because somebody else has a different definition, that doesn't mean that your definition is wrong. So let's get into what is your definition of self-love?
Self-love, and I think self-love is more than just getting your. I mean, it can be a part of your routine, but it's more than just getting your nails done or spa day. Self-love is actually pouring into yourself and others, right?
Come on.
Self-love is going after things that you want to achieve, right?
Come on.
Because if I love myself enough, I should be pushing forward for the things that I want. I should be trying to change my life for a better lifestyle for myself and my future kids.
That's right.
So it's not just about pampering yourself. It's about pouring. It's about practicing. Practicing healing. Healing yourself. What does your heart look like on the inside?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my version of self-love. What's your take?
All right. Those were actually some good points. My take on self-love, I would say a couple similarities. I would definitely say it has to do with recharging your battery. Your self-love has to do with you being able to make it to the next day. In this age and stage that I'm in right now. So I have to do things that make me feel better to be able to pour out to others. So that's what I consider self-love. So two examples that I will consider my self-love. One of them is getting coffee. That's one of my self-loves. I have to give me a cup of coffee.
That's right.
And I can pour out to others once I got that cup of coffee. One more example of my self-love, I can say sometimes I like going hiking. It just gives me a peace of mind. That just lets me know like I'm recharging my battery. You got any examples of some self-love?
But I like how you said recharging your battery, right? Because one thing about it is we have self-love. It also means being self-aware, and you have to be honest with yourself, right? If you're not mentally in a place to be there for somebody, don't, right? Now, some people may not understand it. Some people may take it offensive. Some people may get into your feelings, and rightfully so. You have every right to do that. But how can I be there and uplift you if I'm not mentally there?
Woo!
That's being selfish.
Come on.
Right? Because I don't want to pour my misery and my sadness onto the next, because it does. People don't, some people are not aware of it, but it's a real thing. When you are in a state, like in a certain state of your place, and or not place, but at a certain place in your life, you can, when you are around people, you can pass your energy off to other people without even realizing you're doing it. And then one day you wake up, you realize, like, for example, you have, like, say, like, you're always down, you're always sad, and maybe you think going around friends or whatever will help you, right? And in a sense it can, but you don't realize that now your friend is picking up your habits. Picking up your ways. Come on. So I love that. It's definitely to recharge. Because one thing I'm not gonna do, I'm not gonna come around nobody with being a Debbie Downer or having the same attitude. Especially when it's in times when you're trying to celebrate others, right? When we're talking about love and celebrating others and celebrating love, how can I do that if I'm walking around with a right? And then it's just like it takes the attention off of what really matters.
Come on. That is really good. I love how you just said, like, basically being like, just like a cloud, a ball of gray cloud walking around. And that's really good because I wanted to touch on the fact that I said the battery charge in self-love. And as you guys noticed that I moved the Girls Get Up to monthly because my battery was running low, you guys. I'm an honest person. If that's one thing I love to do is keep it real with you guys. I didn't, what she was just expressing, want to pour off on others. How can I give you guys the girl get up if I'm not girl get up? I wasn't feeling it. So I wasn't able to give it to you guys weekly. I had to preserve my energy to actually give something good, you know? So that was really good because honestly, that's real. And I learned that, like, you know, and a lot of people like to tell me, Shayla, your energy is so amazing. And I'm like, okay, but y'all don't know the other side of the ball of the cloud, you know?
What it takes for her to be amazing, you know? It's a lot that is behind the scenes, right? Like she said, recharge. She had to step back. And, you know, that comes with having integrity, being accountable, and being honest.
Yes. No, those are big.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
No, seriously. And it hurts sometimes, you know, but that's part of self-love. That's part of, you know, loving yourself, knowing sometimes you got to step back. All right, let's jump into this next phase, you guys. We want to know if there was a time that you could tell yourself when you were younger, and this is a question that I'm asking, we're going to basically ask each other. If there was a time when you were younger that you could have told yourself one positive thing as a self-love reminder, what would it be?
I love that question. Oh man, the younger me, man, and the younger me went through so much. But I think I would tell my younger self, don't be afraid to be who you are. I think, don't cry.
And if you do, I'm here. Because this is real stuff.
I would definitely tell myself to, like, don't be afraid of who you are, because for me growing up, it was very hard to be comfortable in my skin. I always felt like I had to please everybody, right? I had to either please my please my family, or please my peers, or please my mentors, or, you know, teachers, and et cetera, that I felt very lost as a teenager, especially as a teenager, because that was my toughest times. I definitely would tell myself that, like, to definitely just be who you are. It is okay to be different. It's okay to be weird. It's okay to be silly. It's okay to be goofy. It's okay to dress the way you want to dress. You don't have to fit in, you know? So I think that for me,
that's real.
That's what I would go if I would have to go back and tell myself.
I'm gonna I'm gonna answer the question, but I always have to give props when it's due. And I always tell her this off cameras, but I always admire my best friend because I told her this since college. Like, she went through a lot when she was younger. And as far as when she said her identity and figuring out, like, if I wanted to wear blue pants and if that's what I should wear. But let me tell you, my bestie right now, I tell her this, and I'm 29 years old. She be like, I'm wearing this and I want to eat this and this is what I'm doing. And I be like, you don't want any? No. And I be like, oh, I love this. Like, who is this new person? Right. And I mean, it shaped her. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to just say she has her boundaries up. She does not play. And that right there is what you call self-love. She knows her boundaries as far as, no, this is my self-love right here. This is what I know. And I love that. Like, she really knows herself. And a lot of people don't love and know their self. So if I could tell myself something when I was younger, I would say to actually figure out Shayla's identity. I feel like I was always jumping on other people's identities. And now I'm 29 years old and I'm figuring out what my identity is. And it happens to be me in church.
Amen.
Amen to that.
Amen, y'all.
It happens to me being peaceful. Of course, you know, I'm still rah-rah sometimes, but, you know, I'm an honest person. But I'm just saying, if I could tell my younger self something, it would say not to basically, I picked up something off each person. And I love that because it might have been something good, might have been something bad. I've learned something from each person I've been around. But I will say, something I would tell my younger self is not to basically copycat everybody. I was doing that a lot. And I wanted to say that I was being a leader and a lot of people were following me, but I was trying to follow the next person. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to like be like the next group and trying to like, I'm here, you know? So I would say, like kind of like you said, like, no, Shayla, it's like, if this is what you like, this is what you like. Mm-hmm. And I'm finally in that stage. If I like carrots, I like carrots.
Amen. And as I always tell her, you know, because she's done many different things, making plates, selling cookies, doing everything, right? But I've always told her this is like literally the best thing that she's ever done. Like really her focus, really her and I won't say like necessarily you were being a follower. You were leading, but you was just trying to follow. You trying to find who you were, and you didn't know who you were because you were surrounded by so many things that were distracting. Woo! And that's also part of self-love. Come on. You have to move all of those distracting obstacles out of your way to get to where you are destined to be.
No, that is real. The distractions part is really real. So I'm going to let you go with the next question and let's get it going.
So my next question would be, right? Self-love is important, but what does that look like as far as appearance? Right? Because and the only reason why I say appearance is because we are in a world where we do focus on what it looks like, right? We could talk about what it feels like, but what does it look like on the outside?
Ooh, that is a good one. Can you go first? Because I kind of want to know where the mind is going with this.
I feel like as appearance as when you walk, right? Are you walking with your head held high and your shoulders up? Or are you slouching? Are you dragging? Or, you know, what is the, you know, because sometimes, and the only reason why I say this as far as like also appearance, and that means being in the mirror and saying, hey, you know, this is, you know, good morning. This is another day. I'm beautiful. You're beautiful. That type of appearance, right? Like you can't practice it if you can't actually do it, right?
And okay. Practice what you preach.
Definitely practice what you preach. And I just feel like sometimes for me it pushes me when like say that I'm like in a like I'm having a hard day at work, right? And I'm stressed and I'm just like, then I'm like, you know what, Lena? No, like we're good. Like, you know, fix yourself. Like you got it. Like God got you. Like, you know, practice as that, like as far as like on how you move in your life, basically.
Okay, I feel that. All right. For me, I would say, okay, I would say as far as when you said the practice what you preach part, that kind of touched on me. Mm-hmm. And ask me that question one more time.
So what does self-love look like as far as appearance?
Boom. Okay, I'm back on the scene. As far as self-love when it comes to appearance, I feel like I have to tell myself, I always like to say I, but sometimes I have to remind myself, like she said, you can't just preach it and not practice it. I have to look in the mirror and I have to tell myself I am beautiful. I have to remind myself, you girl, get up. I have to remind myself, put your best foot forward. You are a mother. You have people looking up to you. You know, I have to remind myself that when people look at me, I hope that they see God. I hope that they see peace. Mm-hmm. You know, like a mirror reflection.
Yes,
that's what I hear when I hear appearance. Like, how does people see you as your reflection when you're walking, when they think of you? What is your reflection? What is your appearance when people think of you when you first pop up in their mind? Mm-hmm. That's kind of where I went with it. I don't know if I touched on it.
You did touch on it, and also wanted, like, as you were talking, something else came up in my mind too as far as appearance. It's also too, like, you know, as especially African American women, getting our hair done, you know, making ourselves, even though we may feel down, sometimes you got to force yourself to just get up and just, even if you don't go nowhere, sometimes I do get up and I will like get dressed even though I'm not going nowhere, and I'll just be like, you know, looking pretty, and I'll take a couple pictures, whatever. That's and I never won't like post it or whatever, because I don't really post a lot of things on social media, because I just feel like